Um, Let me tell you about something that went down in the business side of the hip hop world. Due to business relationships and partners, people don't realize that one thing that you do wrong or one thing that you might say could ruin a relationship that could be costing you tens of millions of dollars a year. You might not even know what you had done. You might not even know what you said. You might not even know what you were even doing at that point, you know, to even get to that, that little crease. You know what I'm saying? So when you see these things develop, the only thing you can do is like, man, learn from it and move forward. Now, back in, I want to say 2015, 2016, around that time, the Manny Pacquiao fight was getting ready to, to materialize. And at this time, 50 was getting ready to do Power. And Mark Wahlberg and a couple of guys that he was associated with from, the deal that he did. I think with Robert De Niro, and he had a lot of films that they were putting out. They were putting Robert De Niro in some of these films that he had when he had that hedge fund deal. You know, I'm not sure about it 100%, but I know for a fact that the opportunity was on the table with him because Eminem and Mark Wahlberg decided to go ahead and do the investment when they were trying to do this venture capitalist deal, this VC deal for a company called StockX. Now, StockX is a company that's like almost like Amazon. It's like people buy, sell. You could lease things on there, sell your items. So it's like an eBay more than it is a, you know, like a Amazon. It's more like eBay and stuff. But the thing is that you get all of the material or everything that you were asking about, and you get it quick, buy and sell your gym shoes, and that's really what they got it for like Jordans, baseball cards, like collectibles, things of that nature. And 50 Cent had an opportunity to get involved in this. Now, I remember the pitch came across our table, and a Detroit Venture Partners group, they got involved. And then another SV investor came in and did his thing, and Scooter Braun got involved. This thing went to the major levels. Now, John Buscemi, Eminem, and 50 Cent had a chance to get involved. 50 Cent didn't, for some reason, Mark Wahlberg's involved, Scooter Braun, Eminem, and they come into this venture partnership deal. And it's like, okay, where was 50 on the deal? Because, 50 closer than to Eminem than Mark Wahlberg was at the time. So you would think he would have got down on it, but he didn't. He didn't jump down on it. It's not like something that's gone out of the water, but this partnership deal that they had just didn't connect. And it's worth millions right now, so they think they came in for about 7 million on the deal. I don't have the exact figures, but I'm gonna say about 7 million. All of them starting this out. So the company is starting, it's still blowing up. It's still in this like stages of where it's growing. So they're hoping it's up there with eBay real soon, called StockX. And when 50 didn't get involved with StockX, it could have, he could have just closed his door to like millions of dollars. We don't know how that really went. uh, all of these different things that transpired. Kanye West, he had a chance to own a piece of the UFC, but Kanye West decided that he was at a point where he exploded on Beyonce, and he was, Scooter Braun he was actually gonna bring him into the StockX. But once he did all that, Scooter couldn't do that. He couldn't put him with Eminem and 50 and all of that. And 50 just was, I guess he wasn't interested. He either turned it down or said he wasn't, a part of that. Whatever happened. But he missed out on that opportunity. So now you're looking at another situation that materialized where artists have cost themselves multi-millions of dollars. Kanye West owning a piece of the UFC. That was on the table. LL Cool J got a piece for like 41 million. They all chipped in and put up like 2 million or whatever a piece. Cam Newton, Tom Brady, Robert Kraft, Tyler Perry, Venus Williams, them just some of the people that's involved. It's like overall about maybe 30 investors. They all like put up $2 million and to bought part of the UFC. So now that they own a piece of it, it's like, it hasn't quite been the same. They sold it when it was at its height of its popularity, which is what you're supposed to do. Now, William Morris Agency still owns the rest of it, but I think Kanye's relationship with certain people turned people off, and I guess even though they don't have to see each other, he wasn't involved in the deal. There's plenty of other deals that come around that a lot of people are not familiar with that eventually go by. But like I say, it all goes with your relationships. What's this? No, great, just great. All right, sorry about that. Sorry, apologize. I apologize. I apologize. Now, where were we? There was a chance for 50 Cent back in the day to collaborate with Jay-Z on an investment deal. So when they had a chance to, get a piece of Uber, when Uber first came around, and he could have bought stock in Uber. The guy, what's his name, Travis Kalanick, Jay-Z, and 50 Cent were in talks to being partners. But 50 wanted to create this competition to promote Uber, like having a war with Jay-Z and they beefing over Uber. Jay wasn't really feeling that. So Jay was like, I'll come in on the deal for more money, but 50 can't be a part of it. And this was back in 2013. So Jay $1 million investment ended up going to a $2 million investment, but 50 turned that down anyway because he was trying to again compete. So plus at that time he was waiting for money coming in. He had like millions, like over 20 plus $1 million getting ready to come to him that was owed to him from ringtones. So he was waiting on that ringtone money to come in. Um, when they created Tidal, when they created the streaming service Tidal, by that time 50 wasn't in position for that. So he didn't have anything to do with Tidal because a lot of people bring up Tidal and all of these different things that they were involved in. But that was the only partnership deal. Jay don't like to be partnered with other rappers, and that's not really what he wants to do. Jay likes to be in his own bubble and partner with other investors, not other artists, unless these artists are people that's like in his circle. Like if John Legend wanted to do an investment, I would see Jay-Z partnering with John Legend before he would partner with 50 Cent, you know. We all know 50 Cent messed up the Beats deal. Well, he didn't mess it up. He just 50 cented it. The thing is that what 50 was doing, white folks have been doing for years. They take something, they make a replica of what's already popular, and then they try to sell it as their own, and when Beats came out, he wore SMS headphones. He didn't wear the Beats headphones in the video, and Eminem's video with Dre and everything else, and that just ticked off Jimmy Iovine, and then he became an enemy of Jimmy because of that. Jimmy just didn't like him, and at that point, it is what it is. At that point, well, 50 was never one of the people like who was partnered with Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre he's another person that's like Jay. Like as far as the investments and things of that nature, they would do their deals and mostly would partner only with people they know. Like Dre gonna partner with Jimmy. If Jimmy say this is a good idea for us, Dre, they're gonna move in that direction. Now, Dre made like almost 40 to $50 million back in 2001. When he dropped the Chronic 2001, he sold 30% to get the money for all the things that he wanted to do for Aftermath. He sold 30% of the company Aftermath to Interscope. That was the only way Interscope was going to give him the money to trust Dre. So it wasn't like Interscope really believed in Dr. Dre. They did until that first album flopped. Then this was it. Like he sold 30% of Aftermath to get that additional money so he could put out these projects and everything. And they had Eminem and all this stuff. So, and when Chronic 2001 dropped, Eminem just was successful. So that worked. And, that was it. They was off to the races. I really wouldn't know if that is the case. I mean, there's been plenty of times Nas turned down a big major Budweiser promotion. Everybody knows the Apple deal with Beats Electronics and how they did the deal with Apple. But people don't realize that He was part of a smartphone thing that they did in 2012, that HTC, because when they did that deal for 300 million, that was for 51% of the stake in Beats Electronic. So Dre took home, like, I say he made about 100 million off that. What 50 tried to do with SMS was the same type of deal, but that was going to be blocked all by Jimmy. Jimmy was going to make sure SMS Audio, that company there, 50 had more stake in that, and it was more lucrative for him not to be a person that's, tied up to Dre and making some money. Like Eminem got paid, but he didn't get paid like Dre and Jimmy, but he got a piece of the Beats deal, but not like what everybody else got. And 50 just like, why would I take a little bit of something, and if I could take that idea you got and start selling headphones, because all these kids are wearing backpacks and headphones, I can go get my own company, make my own brand, and put them out. And when they did that, Jimmy was hot. So HTC, every time 50 tried to find a partner, he ran into roadblocks that he didn't even know existed. He made powerful enemies, and that was always keeping him held down from what he was trying to accomplish. And that's the thing. You could have the drive, you could have all these different things, but if you didn't have that, it wasn't going to work. Like I say, the wrong type of, if you tick off the wrong person, you could go left. The whole thing could go left. Like Charlemagne the God. Charlemagne had an investment opportunity. I don't even want to say it because the thing hasn't come out yet. But a person was on the Breakfast Club and they were talking about a deal they was doing, and they came on there, and before they came on the Breakfast Club, they were talking about with Charlemagne doing this investment. Like, we can be partners in an investment that we had going on and everything else. And Charlemagne, this was off the air. Charlemagne accidentally said something on the air about the deal, and this deal hasn't even come up yet. But that person that damaged Charlemagne for like a lot of companies as far as investing, but he didn't need that now because he's got himself tied up with iHeart. So that's where he's going to be for the next 5 years, tied up into this deal. Now, what's happening is that the Breakfast Club is still not pulling the weight it used to pull anymore. Maybe because, people are not actually there. They're doing virtual whatever, and people are at home, and it's just more competition now because everybody's dropping podcasts online. People are watching that rather than watching the Breakfast Club. People can just like, look, people, I could just see them sitting at home talking. Lil Wayne got a podcast show, so the artists actually are putting on their own shows because they can't go out and get money, so they might as well do it this way. 50 Cent had a chance to also invest in another company that's a startup um, company that's on, it's called Tech Deck or something like that, or and all of a sudden it's like for everybody trying to get out tech. It's almost like a Shark Tank. And what this company does is like helps you if you got tech and stuff. They like help you get to patents and all these different things. Like if you got something that's patentable, they can help you get to certain investors that might and VCs that might get you the help you need. And so a couple of actresses in Hollywood that were involved in, participating in this. But that was another opportunity that was missed by 50 Cent, so I just thought I should put that out there as well. You know, it is what it is. But anyway, I've taken up enough of your time. I just thought you guys probably want to hear some business talk. A lot of artists are involved in a lot of different things. What's his name? Qualib? Not Qualib. Most Def. He was investing into healthy ways like the sea salt and trying to save people, blacks, from high blood pressure and getting diabetes and all these different things from what they were eating, trying to change their diets to, incorporate more healthier foods. So he was involved in that company. I don't know how far that actually went, but he was down that path as well. So anyway, just thought I'd bring that to y'all attention. I'm gonna get out of here. It's your boy Carcino saying out of here later. 50 is coming out on top anyway, so in the end, 50 wins. Yeah! You know what I'm saying, man? I just tell you, man, I'm smarter than the average rapper, man.